The French are certainly showing no fear in the face of terrorism this morning. That new issue of Charlie Hebdo selling out across the country this morning, with people waiting hours to buy it. ABC's Terry Moran is in Paris with more on that side of the story. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Robin. Here on the famous Champs-Élysées, you can't buy a copy of Charlie Hebdo. You can't buy a copy anywhere in France, as you point out. 700,000 sold out in just a few hours. Getting one has become a kind of declaration of defiance against terror, but the magazine once again spiking tension with the Muslim community here and around the world, while French authorities continue to pursue every lead into the terror underground.
Before dawn this morning, people lining up at shops and news kiosks, waiting while drivers loaded up copies of Charlie Hebdo, and it seemed to be a privilege for them. Distributing Charlie Hebdo, says Jean-Baptiste Saidi, it warms my heart because we say to ourselves that he is still here. He's never left. The lines were so long that the fierce little weekly announced this morning it will now print 5 million copies of this issue. It usually prints 60,000. At a press conference, the Charlie Hebdo staff spoke out, traumatized still. We're just cartoonists who like to draw little characters like when we were kids, Luz, who drew the cover, said. The terrorists were kids once. They drew like all kids. So at one stage, they lost their sense of humor. But Muslim leaders here in France and around the world blasted the new issue as a provocation, and one said an act of war. France is practically on a war footing, 10,000 troops deployed. The anti-Semitic comedian Dieudonné arrested for incitement after his Facebook post that supported the attackers. And an extraordinary moment in the National Assembly, politicians rising, singing the French national anthem.
France is roused into action, no question about it. Considering a crackdown, those legislators right now debating whether or not France should have some version of a Patriot Act, which is a very controversial idea here. George?
Okay, Terry, thanks very much.